Hi, I'm Danny. You may recognize me from such videos as how to hack your brain to learn coding or 3 ways to make money while learning to code. Why is it that most people fail to learn coding? Is it because they didn't have a good learning resource or that they didn't have a mentor? Or maybe it's because they're not smart enough. If you've spent any amount of time hanging out with developers, you probably realize that they're not even that smart. So why is it that they're able to stick to it and get the job with the high pay, and why are others not able to do it? You're probably also wondering, why is this man holding a stick? Well, because here in rural Ireland, we have badgers. And there's an old wives' tale that if you encounter a badger on a walk, you should always have a stick, because if they bite you, they will hold on until they hear a snap. So this could save your legs when you're out and about. But I'm actually here on the beach, and there are no badgers here. They're also nocturnal, I believe. So the real reason I have this stick is to show you a beautiful graph. So let me show you that now. You see, if developers were that smart, a lot of the apps that get built would never be built. The real reason is this is an axis of a graph. C stands for confidence. This right here is T. This is time. What we think is going to happen when we start learning something is that we get more confident as time goes by and we become really good. But what actually happens is we start something and we get super confident really fast. Then we hit a point up here where we're feeling, oh, this was false confidence. And we dip way down. And we dip way below where we expected to be. And we hang out here for a long time. And then over time, we get exponential growth again. And then we plateau. Okay? So our expectations are completely different to the reality. Nobody quits here. You're on the up, you're feeling good. Many people will quit here, but almost everybody will quit down here in the valley of despair. If you can stick through this, you make it all the way up before you plateau with sustainable growth. You see, it's not an issue of intelligence. It's an issue of perseverance. It's an issue with confidence and self-belief. It's not necessarily, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the best resources. Oh, I better change to this, this, or this. The problem is getting stuck in the valley of despair and then moving on to the next thing before you ever make it up that curve, over that hill, and surpass your expectations. So what do we do when we're in the valley of despair? You can feel like nothing is going to work. We're never going to get anywhere. Well, I have some helpful tips. Going to leave this graph behind and we're going to leave this beach behind because I've got stuff to show you at home. Now, I've spent a lot of time in the valley of despair. A lot more time than I ever wanted to or expected to. But I've learned so many different skills throughout my life that I'm aware that things will come with time. It's just about sticking to it. But when you're learning to code, especially initially when you're like, I'm crushing it, I've got HTML in the bag, I've got CSS, everything's starting to happen for me. And then you kind of hit JavaScript and your head goes a little bit wobbly. We've all been there, or if you haven't, you will be. That's just the start of the curve. That's where you're like, I'm growing in confidence now. Nothing can stop me, I'm doing really well. But then you hit this point where you realize, this was all a lie. This is false confidence. You may remember me referring to developers as not that smart, and that is reflective in myself also. I didn't, in fact, come up with this graph. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it is well known in other circles. Mount Stupid is somewhere that I've spent a lot of time, as well as the Valley of Despair. Then you hit the slope of enlightenment before hitting the plateau of sustainability. I feel like right now I'm at the plateau of sustainability because I've reached the point where I'm no longer really fluctuating with my coding learning. I've kind of gone through that wave. But getting out of the valley of despair is one of the most difficult things to do, because you have to just face the fact that you're not as smart as you thought you were, you don't know as much as you thought, and your expectations are not being met. When you're in this situation, it is crucial to track your progress. One of the best things that you can do at the very start of your journey, or wherever you are right now, is record a video of you talking about where you are right now. Talk about what you're learning, what you're struggling with, what you're enjoying, and why you're doing it. Understanding why you started in the first place is what's going to keep you going as time goes by. When you're at that kind of Mount Stupid and you feel like, yeah, I'm doing great, capture that feeling, put it in a bottle, write it down, put it in a Google Doc, put it somewhere in the cloud, and have it there that you can reflect on. Number one, it's going to be kind of funny because you're going to look back and go, God, I had no idea what I was in for. But two, you're also going to have that enthusiasm, and you're going to see why I started this. You know, what was I looking for? What was the purpose? How did it feel? Because you will get that feeling again when you're at your lowest and you're feeling like you're making no progress, and you're seeing things in the news like AI is taking our jobs, or people are firing, or there's no work on freelance and websites, and you're really struggling. Get all that stuff out of your head. You need to compare you to you yesterday, and you need to look for you in 10 years. You should be reaching and chasing that person. There's a really good speech by Matthew McConaughey, and he's talking about trying to impress or chasing himself in 10 years. And I think that's such a powerful motivator for me, and also you're going to realize that for you too, that chasing where you want to be is the real grind. That's who you're really trying to impress. You can only compare yourself to yourself yesterday. And as long as you're making progress along the coding journey, along the freelance journey, along the design, whatever your thing is, if you compare you to you, you're gonna get there. It's just a matter of time. So take into account, if you take nothing from this video other than badgers bite your leg, remember that the Dunning-Kruger effect is real, and you're not the only person that goes through these loops, but you definitely can be the person who follows through. You don't have to quit everything in the valley of despair. It's not to do with your intelligence. It's not to do with the resources you have. It's not to do with what's going on in your life. It happens to everybody. It's a well-known effect. Just push through and eventually you will get there. If you like this video and you found it somewhat useful or inspiring, which was my goal, you can subscribe and help this channel grow. If you want to see another video, you can watch this one here.